This is Fat to Fierce. Welcome to the Confidence Chronicles. I'm your host, Amy English. Join me on this empowering adventure towards a healthier relationship with food, body, and self, one delicious bite at a time. Hello. I hope you're having a good week so far. Welcome back to the Confidence Chronicles. This is episode 23, and today we're tackling a topic that's been a personal challenge for me for years: consistency. Now, before you tune out thinking this is just another episode on healthy eating habits, although consistency is key there too, let's clarify. Consistency, for me, is about showing up and putting in the work, even when it feels hard. We all have those big dreams, those wouldn't it be amazing if goals. Maybe it's mastering a new skill, launching a new business, or in my case, consistently putting out high-quality podcast episodes for you amazing listeners. But here's the reality. The path to achieving those goals rarely involves bursts of inspiration and superhuman effort. More often than not, it's the steady, consistent drip, drip, drip of action that gets us there. Think about athletes training for a marathon. They don't just show up on race day and expect to win. They put in months, years of consistent training, building their endurance and perfecting their technique. It's the same with any goal, big or small. Now, lately, I've been battling my own inconsistency monster. I envisioned this podcast being a regular fixture in your lives, something you could rely on. But the fear of not being good enough, not delivering the best content, almost derailed the whole project. And that's when I had a breakthrough. Consistency isn't about perfection. It's about showing up, about being on more than you're off. It's about building that consistency muscle, the one that gets stronger the more you use it. And believe me, this muscle has an impact on everything you do. When you consistently practice a new skill, you see improvement. When you consistently prioritize your health, you feel a difference. It's a ripple effect, one consistent action leading to another. Speaking of consistent action, here's a fun fact. You're listening to this episode because I pre-recorded it. Why? Because I want to be consistent. I want to commit to showing up for you, even on days when motivation might be lacking or when I've planned to be away. Now, of course, consistency isn't always easy. We all face challenges, fear of failure, feeling overwhelmed, or simply life getting in the way. But the good news is there are ways to overcome these hurdles. Here are some practical tips. Identify your why. When motivation wanes, and it will, revisit the reason behind your goal. Remind yourself of the positive impact it will have on your life. Write down your why and keep it somewhere visible for daily inspiration. And one quick side note about motivation. Motivation is fleeting. It's not intended to last. Just imagine for a second if we were always motivated every minute of every day. That would be wild and exhausting. We can stop relying on motivation to do the thing it's not supposed to do. Determination works much better. Okay. Another practical tip. Start small and celebrate your wins. Don't try to do too much at once. Break down your goal into smaller, achievable steps. Celebrate each completed step, everything, no matter how small. That's going to help maintain momentum. Another practical tip is habit stacking. Pair your new habit with an existing one. Want to learn a new language? Listen to a language learning app while commuting. Want to stretch your body more? Do some stretches while waiting for your coffee to brew. I love this concept, and I do this while waiting for my coffee every day to the point where my husband and kids laugh at me when they're home. Anyway, so another practical tip to overcome the hurdles, I should say. Forgive yourself when there is a setback. Get back on track. Every single person has setbacks. See, this is the interesting part of social media too, because a lot of times social media can make us feel bad about ourselves because it looks like everybody else is achieving all these goals. You got to remember something, and I have to remember this too, okay? Social media is just a highlight reel. We're not seeing the behind the scenes. We're seeing the marathon win, okay? We're not seeing all the effort and training and perfecting that went on behind the scenes, okay? Everyone has setbacks. Don't beat yourself up if you miss a day or two. Acknowledge it, forgive yourself, and recommit to your goal. And forgiving yourself can be as simple as saying it. I forgive me. It's okay. Cut yourself some slack. Offer yourself a little bit of grace. It's okay. Now, as an emotional eating coach, I see this challenge a lot. For example, someone might be trying to remove processed sugar from their diet, or just they may be trying not to stress eat, right? And things are going swimmingly until a stressful situation triggers them to reach for sweets. Here, the key is to practice self-compassion, acknowledge the setback, and recommit to the goal. That's it. I often say my favorite 2-word question when we fall down or when we have a setback or when we have a stress eat. So what? So what? That's going to stop the self-criticism more than dwelling on what has happened. Okay, consistency is crucial in retraining your brain and body to develop healthier habits. And this is also where practicing the pause is going to come in. Taking a moment to reflect before reacting or continuing on autopilot. And listen to episode 22 for a full refresh on practicing the pause. Life can get busy, and sometimes we fall into routines without questioning if they're serving us. Okay, this happens to everybody. Well, probably most people, okay? The pause allows us to step back and evaluate. So just like we can use the pause when it comes to emotional eating, we can use the pause with any goal. And when you pause, you can ask these questions. Are the actions aligned with the goals and values? Where could a little more consistency make a positive impact? So here's an example, and this is actually one that comes up in coaching. Let's say you want to improve your sleep, okay, your sleep hygiene. You might find yourself mindlessly scrolling through social media right before bed. Okay, guilty. By practicing the pause, you can recognize this as a habit that disrupts your sleep, and it does, okay? With this awareness, you can choose a more sleep supportive activity, building consistency in your bedtime routine. Pausing helps build consistency. And then consistency, in turn, strengthens your ability to pause. Isn't that beautiful? It is a powerful cycle that fuels progress in all areas of life. Think of pausing as the foundation for consistency. When you take a moment to reflect, you become more aware of your actions and choices. This awareness allows you to identify areas where consistent effort can lead to positive change. The more consistent you are with your goals, the easier it becomes to pause and assess your progress. You can see what's working, what needs adjustment, and course correct as needed. This mindful pausing, fueled by consistent action, creates a powerful cycle of growth. So, how can you incorporate this pause and consistency cycle into your own life? Start by taking a moment to reflect on your goals. Where do you feel like consistency could make a positive impact? Then, commit to small, consistent actions and schedule regular pauses to assess your progress. Check in on yourself. Do an evaluation. What's working? What's not? What can you change? Remember, again, this is where your inner ally is going to come in. I love how all the topics in these episodes build on each other. I'm often referring to previous episodes because they're all kind of like intertwined, right? It's all of it is like this big, beautiful thing. Okay. But remember, always progress over perfection. Aiming for perfection is just never helpful. Never has been. I don't know where, when, or how that ever started. Well before my years, I'm sure, but progress over perfection, always. Because even those small, consistent steps will move you forward when fueled by the power of the pause. The more consistent you are, the bigger those ripples become. And it's ripple effect that impacts all areas of your life, no matter what goal you're working on. Again, I'm going to take emotional eating, okay? When clients work on emotional eating, when I worked on emotional eating, that didn't just have a ripple effect on my relationship with food. It had a ripple effect on my relationship with my body, my relationship with myself, my relationship with my husband, the way I show up in my business, the way I show up for this podcast, the way I see myself, the way I show up in all areas of life. It helped me feel more confident. Okay. Let's all challenge ourselves to show up, shall we? A little bit each day. Let's watch what happens. All right, as always, thank you for joining me on the Confidence Chronicles today. I hope you have a great week. See you next time. Are you ready to take control of your eating, embrace your body, and boost your confidence? Then let's get fierce. Start your Fat to Fierce journey today. Go to amyenglishcc.com for more resources and to book your discovery call.